What do we make of the Ryan Braun situation? Sure, I know he's a cold-blooded, lying, cheating bastard, but he's now served his 65-game suspension, and you need to make a decision on what his fantasy worth is going to be in 2014. Now, when he was healthy last season, Braun played like his MVP self, hitting 7 home runs in April. Then he tried to play through a thumb injury, which stunted his performance and ultimately landed him on the DL for about a month. And so the question remains, was Ryan Braun doping at the beginning of last season too? Could he have been that vain? Hey, given the Miami connection, there's no way to know how long Braun was taking performance-enhancing drugs. If you told me that he's been taking them since college, I really couldn't argue with you. There's no way anyone knows for sure if this has just been a short-term thing or if his entire Major League Baseball career has been based solely upon it. Braun comes into this season with an ADP of 16, and he's the 7th outfielder being taken in mock drafts. So here's the way I look at this. He's either going to be a top 5 fantasy player again this season, or he may fall off the map. Hey, if you polled 100 people and asked them if they would be absolutely shocked if Ryan Braun had an MVP-type year this season, I would doubt you would get many people to say they would be totally floored by that. They may not be willing to wager on it or risk taking him as one of their first few picks, but it's not like it would come as a huge shock to anyone if Ryan Braun ended up performing like a top pick. Doing well in fantasy baseball often comes down to managing risk. Sometimes avoiding uncertain situations keeps you out of trouble, and other times taking a risk comes with a reward that would have never come by playing it conservatively. And there are plenty of knowns in fantasy baseball, and you're going to likely need 1 or 2 of them on your team to be able to win. But it's those of you who add calculated risks to those certainties that work out that often win out in the end. So to me, Braun's upside is definitely worth taking the risk on. He's going to be extremely focused on trying to prove to the entire free world that he can play at an MVP level without performance-enhancing drugs. Now, I'm not certain if he can or if he can't, to be honest, but I think the risk-reward is definitely worth taking here, and I certainly wouldn't condemn anyone for taking a chance and using a first-round pick on him, or getting into a small bidding war for him in an auction league. At the end of this season, whoever drafts Ryan Braun is either going to look like a genius or an idiot. But if you do a good enough job drafting, you should be able to take Braun early on and still have a contingency plan if he turns out to be a total inept fraud, unable to play the game at all clean. If it works out for you, go ahead and take the credit for yourself. If it doesn't, go ahead and blame it on me. I could take it. It's my job. It's what I do.